Hey guys! So I am back with another video, and today's video is going to be all about Buddhism. This has been a very requested video and I am really excited to make it. But first we are going to have to kick things off with a disclaimer. So if you are not an open-minded person, or you don't agree with Buddhism, or maybe you just don't like hearing other people's opinions, this is probably not the video for you, so I would suggest you click away now. I am not an expert on Buddhism. I don't claim to be. I don't know everything there is to know. I'm still learning. But this is the things I've learned and my experience with Buddhism, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So that being said, I wanted to start off with a really quick history of Buddha. So a very long time ago, there was a man named Siddhartha Gautama, and he was a prince in Nepal. One day he decided that he was unhappy and he wanted to see the rest of the world, so he gave up everything he had and he left to go explore and try and find the true meaning of happiness. When he left his palace and he saw the world for what it was, and he saw there was so much suffering and pain and death, and he was pretty heartbroken, and so he started practicing different religions trying to find happiness. None of these religions worked for him, and so he went and he meditated under a tree. He meditated for a long time until finally one day he reached enlightenment. He realized what it would take to reach happiness. He wrote it down and he went about teaching it, and that is how Buddhism was created. Of course, that is just the really quick version, but that is just the basics of it. So I have been practicing Buddhism for a little bit over a year now. Growing up, I never believed in God or any sort of higher power, and I never classified myself under any religion. Then one day I started reading about Buddhism, and I realized that I agreed with everything it taught, and it seemed like something that could really make me a better person, so I decided to start practicing it. And it really did help. It really did make me a happier person and a more compassionate person and everything like that. So now I'm going to get into the basic teachings of Buddhism. But before I do, I just really quickly want to say that there are no rules in Buddhism. There's nothing you have to do. Buddha said to do what works for you and find your own light. So these teachings are more of guidelines to help you. They're not strict rules. So the first things that I'm going to talk about are the Four Noble Truths. These are the truths that people need to accept in order to find happiness. So number one is life consists of suffering. This is a fact. In life, there will be suffering and unhappiness, and that's just something that we have to accept. Number two is we suffer because we desire things that are temporary. In life, we tend to form attachments to things that are temporary, and then we end up being disappointed when those things are gone. Number three, the way to free oneself from suffering is to eliminate all desire. And number four, the way to eliminate these desires is by following the Eightfold Path. And that leads us straight into the next teachings, which is the Eightfold Path. So the Noble Eightfold Path is, number one, right view. This is looking at the world for exactly what it is and understanding how our reality works. It's knowing that there is suffering, there is death, there is sickness, there is greed, there is hatred, there is all of these things that you have to have knowledge of. Number two is right intention. This is having the intention to constantly rid yourself of being immoral or cruel or anything like that. It's having the right intentions throughout life and not having the wrong intentions. Third is right speech. This is abstaining from lying, from using abusive words, from gossip, basically refraining from using words with the intention of hurting others. Number four is right action. This is taking the action to be a better person and make the world a better place. This is not acting in a way that could corrupt or be harmful to yourself or others. So this is abstaining from stealing or sexual misconduct or taking a life. And number five is right livelihood. This is not engaging in activities or occupations that directly or indirectly cause harm to any living thing. So this means staying away from jobs like selling weapons, selling drugs or alcohol, selling meat, anything that directly or indirectly causes harm to a living being. So number 6 is right effort. So this is always making an effort to abandon all harmful thoughts, words, and actions. Always putting in an effort to being the best person you can be. Number 7 is right mindfulness. This is being mindful to your physical health and your mental health and your thoughts, and always being aware of the things that are happening around you. And lastly, number 8 is right concentration. This is always keeping your thoughts pure, always keeping your concentration on making the world a better place and ending suffering for yourself as well as others. Basically just spreading positivity everywhere you can. So that is the Eightfold Path. So another thing that ties in with Buddhism is meditation and reincarnation. So I just wanted to talk about those very quickly. So reincarnation is something that you can choose to believe in or you don't have to believe in. That is solely up to you. For example, I believe in reincarnation a little differently than other people. So a lot of people believe in reincarnation in the sense that when you die, your soul is reincarnated into another human or an animal. I personally believe that everything is made up of energy, and when you die, your energy is recycled back into the universe. It can be used for anything. So I don't necessarily believe that when I die, I will be reborn into someone else. I just believe that the energy that is used to make up my body and my being will be recycled back into the universe and used for whatever the universe needs to use it for. And meditation is something that is pretty important in Buddhism because it has a lot of benefits to you physically and mentally, and it is something that will help you reach enlightenment. So you should attempt to meditate whenever you can. A lot of people think that to meditate you have to absolutely clear your mind of everything. You can't think a single thought. You can't see a single thing. Your mind has to be completely blank. And that's true to an extent. Meditation is not the absence of thought, it's the practice of stillness. So you will have thoughts pop up while you're meditating. That's just human nature. The important thing to remember is that you are a mountain and your thoughts are just clouds passing by. And you have to let them do just that, pass by. Don't focus on them, just let them pass by. Focus on your breathing and practice being still. There are tons of different types of meditation, so you could just experiment with different ones and find what works best for you. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is how to become a Buddhist. This is a question that a ton of people ask me. How do I start? How do I become a Buddhist? And it is extremely simple. To become a Buddhist, one just starts practicing the Buddhist teachings. Just start practicing Buddhism and you're a Buddhist. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is how to deal with negativity as a Buddhist. There are always going to be people in life who try and bring you down. Some of those people might even be fellow Buddhists. I've had this happen to me too many times where a fellow Buddhist will tell me that I'm wrong, that I'm stupid, that I'm only Buddhist for attention, or that I'm not a real Buddhist. These people should not be paid attention to. A genuine Buddhist would never try and tear you down. They would only welcome you with open arms and do whatever they can to help you learn and grow. So if anyone does come up to you criticizing you for being Buddhist or telling you that you're a fake Buddhist, just breathe and let it go. And I've had people make remarks about how I'm only Buddhist and vegetarian because I want to look like a good person. I don't do these things because I want to look like a good person. I do these things because I want to be a good person. That's the difference. Always be as kind as you can to everyone. There's a really great quote that helps me with that, and it's, Show respect even to people who don't deserve it, not as a reflection of their character, as a reflection of yours. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that's fine. It's not their journey to make sense of. It's yours. Also, if you find the Buddha head statues disrespectful, I'm sorry, I don't mean it to be disrespectful. I don't find it disrespectful personally. I'm aware that there were people vandalizing Buddha statues and removing the heads, but clearly I did not chop this Buddha head off of its body. It was made that way. I didn't buy it out of disrespect, and I planted a plant in there to represent how Buddha's teachings are so sustainable to life and how they help you grow. So again, if you find it disrespectful, I'm really sorry, but I don't, and I honestly don't think Buddha would find it disrespectful either. I don't think he'd really care. So yeah, I believe that is everything that I wanted to cover for this video. I hope I got everything in. It was kind of all over the place, but I did my best. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and possibly learned something new. Also, if you want to learn a little bit more about Buddhism, you could watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, because believe it or not, they teach you quite a bit about Buddhism. The air nomads in the show were based off of Buddhists. So they teach you about the chakras and about meditation and about compassion and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. If you want to learn about Buddhism in a fun way, you could check that out. If you didn't like this video, or you didn't agree with some of the things I said, or maybe you thought that some of the information that I gave out was incorrect, that's fine, but please try and refrain from leaving negative comments. If you didn't agree with something, just kindly let me know. I would be really interested in hearing what you guys have to say, but just keep it positive. And if you guys have any questions about anything, I will do my best to answer them if you just comment them down below. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Namaste. Bye guys.